अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मैं डॉक्टर फारिया बुखारी, पाकिस्तान इस्लाम पॉजिटिव लीग की चेयरपर्सन, आपकी बेटी, आपकी बहन, आपसे इस वक्त डायरेक्ट लाइव बात कर रही हूँ कराची प्रेस क्लब से। आई एम राइट नाउ ओवर हियर at Karachi Press Club because I'm trying to protest against Imran Khan's draconian attack on the TLP protestors. He did that in April this year, and he butchered 24 unarmed protesters of TLP. He used live real bullets on unarmed protesters of TLP in Lahore Yatim Chowk, and yesterday also the Punjab police was ordered by Imran Khan to use as much force as possible to try to contain their protest, which was aimed to be a peaceful protest to try to get their leader released. Saad Rizvi has been categorically already decided to be released by Pakistan Supreme Court. Pakistan Supreme Court has already issued a declaration that Saad Rizvi is held against the Constitution of Pakistan. However, the government of Pakistan, that is currently under the brutal regime of Imran Khan, has refused to comply by the judicial orders to release Saad Rizvi, and this has infuriated the entire organization of TLP, who are upset because the leader is still under arrest against the judicial orders, against the Constitution of Pakistan. Their protest is just. Their protest is fair. Their protest is legit. They're trying to demand for their rights as the citizens of Pakistan, where the Constitution of Pakistan must be upheld and nobody should be above the law. Just because Imran Khan does not agree with the Pakistan Supreme Court does not mean that he can abuse his powers as an executive to undo Pakistan Supreme Court's orders and continue to hold Saad Rizvi against the Constitution of Pakistan, against the judicial orders. And what happened yesterday in Lahore is deplorable, because Imran Khan, Sheikh Rashid, Usman Buzdar have proven yet again to be the butchers of Lahore. They attacked unarmed protesters of TLP with rubber bullets, and they also found hand grenades in the mob. They also found, in addition to rubber bullets, these people were shelled with tear gas. There were children, and there were little children, there were infants literally, who were participating in this protest. There were women, unarmed women, who were participating in this protest. They were attacked by the brutal force of Punjab cops under the order of the CM, Usman Buzdar, under the directions of Sheikh Rashid and Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan. And as a result of this, we have casualties. We have people who have lost their lives. Young people who could have been living today, young people who are citizens of Pakistan, who have the right to demand for the release of their leader under the Constitution of Pakistan as per discretion of Pakistan Supreme Court. What was done yesterday by the government of Pakistan, by the Punjab government, by Usman Buzdar, was an act of terrorism against peaceful, unarmed citizens of Pakistan who have the right to confront the government on the basis of Constitution of Pakistan, who are just trying to demand for the right of their leader to be released after being arrested against the Constitution of Pakistan, against Pakistan Supreme Court's orders. Imran Khan has become a heinous dictator. He is committing mass atrocities. This is not the first time he's tried to kill, slaughter unarmed protesters. He did the same thing in April, and he's doing it under the direct command of Emmanuel Macron. So he's trying to show us that Pakistan is now unofficially a colony of France. And our leader is not Imran Khan. Our leader is not Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. But our leader is Macron Emmanuel. It is deplorable how the authorities acted and abused their power yesterday to attack unarmed protesters who were trying to do a legit protest. That was their right. And who killed, the authorities killed innocent bystanders who were not holding any Kalashnikovs, who were not holding any bombs, who were not holding any arsenal. They killed 24 people in April, and they killed 2 yesterday, and they have injured so many. And now the government officials even tried to block the way of the TLP on the way to the hospital. They could not reach the hospital in time to be able to save their people because of significant obstruction by the government of Punjab. This is not acceptable. This will not be tolerated anymore. We are a country based upon constitution. This is not the banana republic of Macron Emmanuel. This is Pakistan, which is the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, which is based upon the ideology of Islam. We believe in Islamic democracy, where everybody has a right to speak up and confront the ruling regime against its atrocities, against its mass murders, against its draconian laws and policies. Imran has proven again and again that he is not compliant to the Constitution of Pakistan. When it comes to him himself trying to derail governments, he will sit in Islamabad for 126 days. He will destroy the peace of the country. He will ensure that no foreign investment happens in Pakistan due to his rallies and unstoppable sit-ins. He will do whatever he can during his rallies, during his sit-ins. Cops have been attacked, cops have been assaulted without any repercussions. He has been given immunity to date. This has encouraged him to continue to act as the dictator that he is, and to continue to impose brutal crackdowns on people like TLP just because he chooses to disagree with them, just because he chooses to agree with those whom the TLP are actually protesting against, which is Macron Emmanuel. Macron Emmanuel, the French president, is trying to pull the strings of our ruling regime sitting in Paris. Pakistan refuses to be a colony of France. We are not a colony of France. We were never a colony of France. We did not get this country in 1947 from the British to be colonized by France. This country was free. This country is free. It will remain free. And every individual who is a citizen of this country has the freedom to express his concerns against the draconian policies, unconstitutional laws that the ruling regime is imposing upon him or her. Today I stand here to protest against Imran Khan, over his draconian policies and crackdowns that have caused significant injuries to the TLP protesters. He's also acted in a similar fashion against the farmers of Punjab. A farmer by the name of Langayar was killed as a result of this crackdown. Punjab cops have become so brutal under Imran Khan, it is so concerning that there is no law that they go by. The cops' brutality is unmatched. This is the same Imran Khan who stood on the podium to fight for justice for the 14 martyrs of the Model Town massacre done under the Chief Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Today, under his own Chief Minister Usman Buzdar, 2 people got killed yesterday. 2 cops got stampeded under the cops' own vehicles, and nobody did anything about it. Nobody tried to mediate truce. Nobody tried to work for peace. Nobody tried to follow the law from the government side. The law says that Saad Rizvi has a right to walk on the streets of this country free of any chains. He's a preacher. He preaches Islam. He's from a registered organization that has been working for years under his father to preach Islam. It's his inherent right to continue to preach Islam to Pakistanis. There is no reason for Saad Rizvi to be arrested against the Constitution of Pakistan. There is no reason for Saad Rizvi to remain arrested against Pakistan Supreme Court's orders. Imran Khan has violated the laws of Pakistan to suit his ego and to appease those evil cartels that just grey-listed Pakistan again. It's a tragic state of affair. Imran is licking the boots of Macron Emmanuel by killing Ashikane Rasool Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who have chosen to defy the French ambassador. And in exchange, what does he get? He gets Pakistan grey-listed in FATF, that is located in Paris, yet again. You can lick their boots for years and years, Imran Khan. They are not gonna give you your status back in FATF because they don't work for you, they work against you. Their ideology is based upon fascism, the same fascism that forced Hitler to persecute the Jews during the Holocaust. They are imposing a Holocaust on Muslims in France right now. They are bringing down their mosques. They are making it illegal to pray in public. They already put a ban on the veil or niqab of a Muslim woman. They are taking the rights of Muslims in France to be able to practice their religion freely. They are draconian, they are fascists, they are nothing less than Hitler themselves. And now you have imported these Hitlers of France and their ideology to the streets of Lahore and Islamabad. I request the Chief of Army Staff, General Qamar Javed Bajwa, to intervene as soon as possible and to stop this unconstitutional bloodshed of innocent people who have a right to see their leader walk free, because the Pakistan Supreme Court has told them that he has the right to walk free, who have the right to ask for eviction of the French ambassador and to have this issue be run in the Parliament of Pakistan, because we still call ourselves a democracy. If we are a Muslim democracy and we believe in Islam and we believe in the ideology of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, then we cannot allow our own cops to attack the Ashikane Rasul, who are unarmed, who are not militants, who are not terrorists, who have continuously campaigned to do no attacks against the cops. No dramas are going to be tolerated by the PTI. We know what you are up to. You're staging false flag attacks on the cops to justify your persecution on the TLP protesters. You did that in the last episode of this protest in April, when you massacred brutally 24 people who were not even armed. This time your dramas are not going to work. I request Chief of Army Staff to act immediately, intervene, to try to bring peace, to force Imran Khan to abide by the laws of Pakistan, to compel him to listen to Pakistan's Supreme Court that has ordered the release of Saad Rizvi. I request Chief of Army Staff to take action before these protesters are so invoked and incited by the aggressive, brutal regime of Imran Khan that Islamabad is converted into another Syria. Those conspiring against Pakistan sitting in Delhi, in Washington, in Tel Aviv, they want Pakistan to be converted into Syria. They have their lobbyists sitting right and left next to Imran Khan, who justified the use of force against these protesters. And Imran Khan, who has not a single neuron in his brain, decided to do so. Consequently, we now have loss of 2 TLP protesters who were unarmed and 2 cops who got stampeded by the vehicles of the cops. This is a civil rights converting into civil war right now in Islamabad. Who is responsible? Those, number one, who refused to let Saad Rizvi go despite having an order from Pakistan Supreme Court. Number two, those who ordered from the Punjab Assembly to use draconian force, to use rubber bullets, to use hand grenade, to use tear gas on unarmed protesters who kept on saying that we are unarmed, who kept on saying we are peaceful, who kept on saying we are just here to ask for what is our right. Who is going to be responsible for the conversion of Pakistan into Syria? Imran Khan is going to be responsible. His draconian policies are going to be responsible. And his pathetic cabinet that is in bed with Pakistan's enemies working against Pakistan's national interests, they are going to be responsible. And when Pakistan becomes Syria, it will be too late to return to any normalcy. Syria still has to see a day where it can return to a pre-Civil War Syria. We are heading there right now. So I request Chief of Army Staff to intervene ASAP, to mediate peace, to promote peace, to ensure that Pakistan's Supreme Court's order is followed, to ensure that Pakistan's laws are observed, Saad Rizvi is released, and negotiations are done with the TLP protesters so that the civil crisis can be stopped before it converts into a civil war. We have to do what is the right thing for Pakistan. Pakistan cannot be allowed to be converted into Syria because we are a nuclear country. All of those sitting in Washington, sitting in Paris, sitting in Delhi, sitting in Tel Aviv should know that Pakistan will not be allowed to be converted into Syria. You did that under Obama, but Biden, I'm sitting here right now in Pakistan, in Karachi, and I will not let your CIA, I will not let you or deep state convert this country into Syria. It's not going to happen. You are not going to be allowed to make this country into a hellhole. You were able to get away with it in Syria, but we will make sure that this is stopped before it is too late. Today I'm here to publicly, categorically request our Chief of Army Staff, General Qamar Bajwa, to come to Islamabad, to intervene, to force Imran Khan to comply with the Constitution of Pakistan so that Saad Rizvi is released, to mediate negotiations with the TLP protesters so that peace can be observed and this nefarious agenda and conspiracy of Delhi, Washington, Tel Aviv is neutralized. You gotta do it right now. I've got a migraine. My blood pressure last night was 170 systolic. I don't even have hypertension. If I'm here on an emergency basis, then it's for the sake of the national security of Pakistan. We have to act right now. Listen to what TLP has to say. Give them respect. They deserve respect. They are the common men and women of Pakistan. They just love the Prophet, peace be upon him. And that should not be a crime in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. It is becoming a crime in Paris to the point that Muslims are being vindicated. It has become a crime a long time ago under the fascist regime of Modi, but it is yet to be a crime in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Saad Rizvi's crime is that he loves the Prophet, peace be upon him. He does not endorse to militancy. He does not endorse to terrorism. His only crime is he loves the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And he's been taught this by his father, who has campaigned for the honor of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, all his life. So stop criminalizing the love of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Otherwise, it will only take our enemies one day to undo Pakistan. We have a serious conspiracy being staged against Pakistan right now. Only person who can undo this conspiracy is Chief of Army Staff. My protest is against Imran Khan, and I request Chief of Army Staff to intervene. End of my speech.